Hey everyone, welcome to Pepp Talks. My name is Peppermint. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And I am so excited to have you here today for my interactive weekly live interview show that covers hot topics and issues of the day, giving commentary and review on notable Black cinema throughout history. And the reason why I started this show is because I realized there's a lot of Black shows that I love to watch who a lot of my non-Black friends have not seen these really important Black masterpieces. And so that's why I decided to start the show. So we've already watched our movie of the week. And remember, if you're watching this for the first time, you want to watch the movie before you tune in so we can all talk about it together. You can drop something in the comments. Let us know what your favorite part of the movie was. I want to hear from you. Okay, so anyway, each week I invite you I can't see the thing, sorry. Each week, I invite you to throw on your PJs, a mud mask, and get comfy with me and my celebrity guests, where we dish our takes on the movies, drama, and our favorite trends and products, honey. This is a celebration of all things I love, makeup, Black culture, and connecting with each and every one of you. So today's movie and guest are the family that prays together with the fabulous Miss Shangela.
Look at that. I got my Alfred Woodard hair on for you.
Yes, you do.
You look gorgeous. Hi.
I'm feeling fabulous. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's just jump right into it. Okay, first thing I want to know, everyone, can you please tell us your pronouns, Miss Shangela?
Yes. When I'm out of drag as DJ, it is he, his. And when I'm in drag as Shangela, I prefer she, her. Holla.
Yeah. Hello.
And if you see me in the street, I just prefer, hey, prostitute.
Hey, how much? So listen, you've been up to so much. I can't believe, all of our lives have changed in 2020. That's no mystery. But you have kept it going. You have persevered. You have been one of the most inspirational queens to come out of the whole Drag Race franchise, for real. And definitely one of the most workingest girls. Honey, you have brought the title of your song to life. And one thing that I was so happy and touched to hear when the pandemic really set in was you started Feed the Queens organization, and to help queens who were dealing with food insecurity. And food insecurity is something that we deal with in this country. A lot of people have dealt with in this country, but it was obviously made worse by the pandemic. Can you tell us, what was that moment? Why did you decide to do this? What was that moment?
Sure. Okay, so Feed the Queens started, you're right at the start pretty much of the pandemic. In March, April of this year, I started looking around, and just like so many of us, being shocked at how nightlife was completely shut down. All the live tours, the gigs, the local brunches, your nighttime clubs, everyone was gone. All the girls, the way that we work, all types of drag entertainers. And it was just overnight, gone. And we didn't know how long it was going to be, but as we started seeing it month after month after month and things not reopening, I was looking around too, like a lot of us, and going, what can I do to help? And I was watching a lot of girls' online shows and making tips, but it's so hard sometimes to get people to take the action to tip you, like watching an IG live and then going to your Venmo or your Cash App and making a tip. So I knew I wanted to support our community in some way, as a community that's given me so much. And so I started knocking. I had this idea. I was inspired by Lady Gaga. Well, first Jennifer Lewis, who always has been an activist and super involved. And then I saw Lady Gaga did this thing. Remember the fundraiser that she did? And she was like, I called 35 of my heads of company friends and asked me to give $1 million. And so she had the glasses on.
$35 million.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I bet I got friends with money. Now, I didn't know if I got out 35 with $1 million, but I knew that I would have some.
But you got $1 million with $35.
Hallelujah. Look at you, better, mathematician, bitch. So I knew that I could, at least pull together something with my friends and my fans and the way we like to support. So I started knocking on doors. I had this idea to help people, because also I was going to the grocery store a lot here in my hometown of Paris, Texas, with a mask. But groceries are expensive. I'm used to eating out a lot because I was on the road all the time. But even in going to the grocery store, I'm like, bitch, I just left Walmart, and these 2 bags cost me like $80 for 2
Girl, don't
bags of
try to buy a
groceries.
box of cereal. Damn box of cereal is $7 now.
Thank
Don't
you.
get me
If you want the
started, girl.
cinnamon toast crunch, now if you just want crunchy squares, that's a whole different
Yeah,
kind of
yes,
cereal.
honey. But they don't have that in all grocery stores, honey. You ain't gonna get crunchy squares in every neighborhood, honey.
No, you not.
Okay.
No, you not. So I was like, we're gonna be hit with hunger in the drag community. So I wanted to definitely do something that paid attention to that. So I started knocking on doors, and the Actors Fund opened up theirs to me and said, look, we'll help you run this program. We're going to do it at zero cost, because a lot of even charity organizations, to keep running, they say, okay, we'll help you do it, but 30% of the fundraising that you do, we're going to have to use for operating costs. I was like, dang. So I came up with a goal to raise about $100,000 to provide food grants to out-of-work drag entertainers. And initially, we didn't know how long that this pandemic would be lasting, but we see that we're still in it, and we're about to get hit with another wave, and unemployment rates are super high, through the roof, and the money that the government had been providing people is being cut down, and who knows when they're going to reach decisions on stimuluses and all that. So people
Mhm.
even still are getting hit. So thankfully, due to the support of HBO and also so many friends and fans who did a fundraiser recently, we've raised almost $90,000, I believe, in order to provide food grants. Now, the bigger thing is now getting the word out to people. They need to go over to feedthequeens.com. Any drag entertainer, Pep, any drag entertainer that's been put out of work due to COVID-19 can go to feedthequeens.com. There's a button there for Queens. It says apply. Click it.
Mhm.
All you have to do is provide 3 examples to show you were a working drag entertainer within the last year.
All
Okay.
right, honey.
And so a flyer with your picture on it, upload. A link to
Yes.
your
Yes.
Instagram, or you performing at the club, upload. A link on YouTube, or you performing, upload. Just all you gotta do is put the link in there, copy paste. 3 of those, and once you submit, and if the info checks out, you will receive in your email a $200 grant that can be used. It's an Instacart card, right? So it's that we make
Oh
sure that
yeah, I
people are
love
using it for
Instacart.
food. They can deliver the groceries. You can go pick them up, whatever. But you have $200 to use whenever you want to for your groceries. And if we find that there is no grocery store in your area, because it's for everyone across America, say you live in Twin Falls, Idaho, and they don't use Instacart, then you will receive a $200 Chase gift card that you can go use at your local
Go
grocery
use.
store.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And if
That
people want to support the program, they can still go over there and hit donate and support the program to help us feed the queens, because we definitely need to support our drag community.
That's right. We're gonna drop the link in our description, and we're gonna actually, because of the magic of TV, we're gonna put right here, right now. We'll put the link. There we go. Make sure I have to
Subscribe.
click.
Don't forget to subscribe. Remember that girl
Hold on,
back
I
in the
have to
day when you used to
renew
have
it.
to, where'd you
Yep,
go to
girl.
apply?
I went to apply, girl, for the. I went to apply for the food bank.
Shoot, I hear you. I hear you. Everybody's been here. And
Well,
see,
girl,
there's no.
there's that's the truth. I mean, to be honest with you, I'll be very real. Like during this pandemic, the beginning pandemic, I applied for unemployment. I wasn't working. I went from my SAG healthcare, which got very pricey in between, down to, and then I went to my equity. And the point is, I went on Obamacare, which thank God it's still, I'm very grateful for.
Yes.
But everybody doesn't even have the ability to do that, depending on what's going on. And so I'm just really happy that you are able to, that you provided that. And I'm so happy that you have some support. Over almost $100,000 is amazing. If you're watching this right now, please take just a little bit of what you have and go on over to Feed the Queens and donate. And if you're a working queen,
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
still happening. Apply. It's only works
It's
if you
fashion.
take advantage of it.
It's
Yeah.
fashion.
If it's fashion.
It's a fashion. It's
It's
fashion.
fashion.
But it's a fashion.
Okay. And if you're watching us right now on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook, check the link in the description of my Twitch profile to leave me a tip and support the production of the show as well, because we are trying our best to keep it going every single week for you and bring you fabulously talented guests to talk like Miss Shangela. Okay, I got a question for you. Between you, Eureka, and Bob the drag queen, who takes the longest to arrive on set for We're Here? I already know that question. I already know that question.
Look, okay, so everybody's gonna say me. They are. Everyone's gonna say it's me
Okay, well,
because people say Shanji takes a long time. She's House of Airways. The girls can take a long time to get ready. Shanji. But truth be told, we kind of swap out. It depends on what our look is and how intricate it is, who it takes the longest to get ready. Because I'll never forget the last city that we were in, which was Ruston, Louisiana. I was so focused on being on time. I was like setting alarms early. So I'll be the first one downstairs to film. And girl, I had a bell with me. So I'll show you a video. I'm standing outside ringing my bell going, where? And I had a clipboard. Where's Eureka? Where's Eureka? Where's Bob? 801. Ding, ding, ding. Anybody seen Bob? I'm going around telling everybody, anybody seen Bob? Bob ain't here. Oh, okay, just letting y'all know, Shanji on time. Let the record. So if I do show up on time, everybody gonna know. I bring it up 90 times. Y'all know I was on time this one, right? I was early, actually. 2 minutes. Anybody else early? It's me.
Girl, that reminds me of Violet when we were on tour. She would always be on the bus, let it be known.
Let it be. No, do her voice. Do her voice.
Early.
Let it be known. Let it be known.
You know, I do miss those days of touring with you. They were some of the best memories I have. And like you said, we're not touring much right now. We've been home a lot. In our pre-interview that's over on Patreon, you mentioned that this is the longest you've ever been at home with your family. And I'm really, you know, it's obviously a blessing that you're able to spend that time.
Yeah.
And honey, this is the longest that I've ever been in my apartment that I have. But one of the things that's really interesting is it didn't even occur to me, like, I'm quarantined in New York City. You are quarantined in Paris, Texas. And so what is that like to be a blue voter in a red state that traditionally and is talking politics something that you are easily able to engage in your everyday life? Do you see a bunch of signs? What's the atmosphere like?
Well, let me tell you, even on our street, and I've been very thankful to be back home with my family since March. I came in March straight from filming We're Here when our 6th episode was cut short and we had to film it from home. I thought, okay, Corona, 2 months. So I'll just go straight on. I didn't even go back to LA. I just brought my 2 suitcases that I had and came on over to the house. Baby, I've been living out those 2 suitcases for the last 8 months, okay? I just recently was able to go back to LA to work. That being said, I've been here, and it was a little more relaxed because we're out kind of in the middle of nowhere a little bit, where everyone's still wearing masks and we were following the guidelines, but I wasn't seeing like the business shutdowns and just so everyone being completely, not going anywhere, like a ghost town kind of thing. Wasn't experiencing that at first. And of course, I'm here with the family, so I have people around, it's just us. So it was really, we're just together. And so that's been nice, but it's been very weird because I am in a very conservative space in Paris, Texas. Our neighbors 3 doors down have a Trump pin sign in the front and the backyard. Well, of course, that sent me right to Amazon. Backyard. I went to Amazon. I was like, here's the Biden-Harris. I was the Biden here. Look at this.
Yes, honey.
This is my yard,
the
Texas.
queer flag. Yes, honey.
Yes, ma'am.
Would it say Texas?
Yes, ma'am. It surely does. It's blue. Yes. That's all you need to. It's blue.
Yes, it's blue.
And I had the Biden-Harris in the front and the back. Since she want to do front and backs, we can do front and backs, baby. We can do front and backs.
We can do both sides. Front and backs.
We had a Black Lives Matter march down here.
Oh, yes, honey.
Surely did. The black folks came out for Juneteenth, honey. They was in the back of trucks, Cadillacs. I had made a shirt on the back where I put the Black Lives Matter. I had written it in duct tape because, I can't sew and I didn't have no fabrics or nothing. Yeah. So I had just made duct tape, BLM, and put it. And me and my mama went out there to the Black Lives Matter and took the kids, rang the bells and everything.
That's important. That's a moment that they're going to remember forever. I think a lot of us, coming close to November, which is it's coming up in like almost a week now, we are, I'm starting to have flashbacks of 2016. This time, 2016. If Trump wins the presidency, what next? I want to hear from you. What's the first thing you want to do?
Well, you know what? When you say that flashback to 2016, I remember exactly that night, and Hillary was winning, so I went to bed, and I remember waking up around 11 in LA. I don't remember what time it was. It was late because it was dark, and just seeing the TV that had him with a higher percentage, and I said, I laid there in disbelief, like, say what? No. And girl, when they declared that man the winner, and they showed that video of him walking on that stage to do this, I turned the TV off. Sherman Oaks in LA is where I live, was dead silent. On the night Obama won, honey, it was like fireworks.
It was people in the street. I think it was fire. Yes, same in New York, girl. Same in New York all night.
It was the ghost, bitch. And I said, it was like, so this year, if doomsday were to go down, which I don't, I hope and pray, and I'm doing everything in my power. You know, I'm over here, Miss Kamala Biden, Kamala Biden. I'm casting out demons, bitch. Kamala. Oh, shut up, Kamala. Oh,
girl, I can tell you something. Go ahead, girl.
Bitch, I'm doing everything in my power. I'm telling everybody, you going to vote? Because if you can't vote, you can't speak to me no more. If you don't vote, if you don't got a sticker, if you don't show me a picture of you at the poll, it's called, and if, girl, so that being said, if it were to happen, I think, you know, I do whatever I do. I didn't win Drag Race. I was disappointed. And then I picked up myself and I said, now what? Let's get it going. And that's what I will do. I will be like, okay, that's going to hurt. Now, how do we get his self out? What have we been doing the last 4 years? What do we do? But I'm praying that day even got to come. I think, you know what, to be honest, I might go to Bora Bora, bitch. I might go to Bora Bora. I know everybody says it like I'm moving.
Now's a good time. Listen, girl, what is your message to the gays who want to vote for Trump?
Are we talking about a movie? I could have sworn I came over here talking about a movie. I just messing with you, girl. What I would tell the gays, okay, oh yeah, because we got a chance to tell them before the vote day.
Yeah,
baby.
This is a little special because we are 1 week out from voting, so we got just a little more political than normal.
I live. That's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because it is so important. It is so very important. So I would say to the gays, as I said in season 3 of Drag Race on the politics episode, from the heart of all the gays. Oh, yeah. So I would say it is so imperative that you exercise your right to vote like no other thing that we've ever done. And we come together to celebrate. We come together to party. We will come together to support Beyonce. So let's all come together to show that we matter this year, that the LGBTQIA plus vote matters, that we can show up in droves. Bitch, we are educated, we are intelligent, and we also have money, some of us, okay? And even if we don't have money, you know, we have a free right to vote. So we need to exercise that and show up in power so they know that we care about ourselves. When people ain't slick, you know, the Republicans and people who oppose the LGBTQ movement and our existence, honey, they are fighting us. They are in a silent and sometimes not so silent war against us.
I'm talking about freedom. The gays that want to vote for Trump.
Oh, them hoes? Oh, no. Baby, I had the other day, excuse me, I was going to the other ones. My bad. I don't even got to speak to them hoes. Let me tell you what. How dog dare you? That's what I would say to them. How dog dare you? Because, baby, let me tell you, I had a friend the other day. You see, had a friend. Come on, catch the tense. Catch the tense. He had the nerve, and yeah, if you're watching this, I'm talking to you, boo. Had the nerve to post on his Instagram, just so everybody knows, I'm for unity. I'm for and I'm also for Trump. Girl, I had to scroll back up because I said, I know damn well this man ain't said that. I know good and bitch. How? Because it's I'm not going to tell everybody to think the same way. That's not how I feel. You know, I support everybody's very ways of thinking. I'm in a show where we have to go into space a lot of times when people think differently than us. Got it. Okay. But when you post stuff like that, not only are you saying who you are, now you're propaganding. Okay. It's one thing to share your opinion. And I do it too. I will tell y'all, Kamala Harris, who? Biden. I did it. Okay, now, okay, I share my opinion. So you're allowed to share yours. True. However, don't sit up here and be my friend. Okay, you can't say you value me as a friend. You can't value me as an African American person, as a gay person, and you're sitting up there blatantly supporting someone who is so openly against everything that I stand for. So apparently, boo, as much as I love you, oh, I love you. We have had good times together and probably good trade. But that being said,
no doubt, good trade, bitch. If you've ever been on tour with Shangela.
Oh, Lord. Your tone seems very pointed right now. With that being said, you can't sit here and tell me that you love me and we're going to have this beautiful friendship. And I know the things that you also support. You support a man who puts down everything that I stand for and everything that my friends, the people that I love, that builds them up. White supremacy? You into that? Okay.
I don't understand that. I'm trying.
Not only are you into it, but you're going to get out here and tell other folks to be into it. Nope, wrong girl. Block, delete. He said, oh, you really going to block me? Yes, I am. I surely am. Well, you could try to convince me. Not my job. Not my job to try to convince you. You should know better. You grown, bitch.
You can get the information. I know that. Yeah, it's okay. Well, what do you have to say to the people who don't want to wear masks in the face of this pandemic?
Let me, girl. If you let me. I'm looking.
Get your mask, girl. Get your mask.
I always have one within reach. I always have one within the distance, within the 6 feet, in case you want to come infiltrate the doll. Okay, you want to infiltrate the doll. I'm reaching. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell everybody: wear these masks, baby. Wear these masks. It's so important. You know, being in the house with my grandma, I know having health scares and all that. It's not that big of a deal. It's a mask. And I know we all make mistakes. Girl, I've gotten out the car to go into the grocery store, get to the door, and like, damn, my mask. And I got to turn around and go back to get the mask, but it's important. And why make a huge deal about fighting it? We all got to protect ourselves. And trust me, I'm going to understand when somebody makes a mistake. Oh, girl, I didn't, it's a journey of us learning. But just wear the mask. I mean, it's not even that big of a fight. It might help you catch a man. Some of y'all got funky breath. So put the mask on and it might help you. You might have lovely eyes and a delicious brow. And in that case, you're going to pull trade. If you need that to be your motivation, let it be the motivation.
Well, it is time, with all of that being said, it is time to finally talk about our film of the week. It is The Family That Prays, directed by Tyler Perry. This film came out in, I think, 2008. It's definitely one we've all seen. I've seen it more times than I thought I've seen it. And I know you done already seen the film. Let's talk about it. This is one that I do think it's important for people to see because I wanted to add this to the list. It's not what I would consider an entirely Black movie. Like the main movies that I wanted to put on this list of things for the show is movies that are by Black directors, by like completely Black cast, and that are Black made and owned and operated kind of thing, about stories that are intrinsically African American and Black. But you cannot deny, when it comes to the world of Black cinema, the contribution of Tyler Perry at all. And so this story is about two families in the South, one Black, one white, who are connected by their matriarchs, Alfre Woodard and Kathy Bates, who've been lifelong friends, and amidst family drama, plenty of family drama, decided to go on a little road trip together. And it is a very fast-moving movie, but a fast-paced movie.
But like, another scene. Oh, scene.
Yeah,
all right, scene.
Yeah, especially towards the end, I think they were like, okay, we gotta wrap this up. But I want to know right off the bat, like when you first saw this movie back in the day, what were your thoughts and the impact? Because for me, I think it's different today than it was back in 2008.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep it real. In 2008, my mother had a collection of probably 400 bootleg DVDs that came in like little white sleeves with CDs with black marker writing on them. I don't support that particular industry. Deb got them 5 for 10. That's all I can say. So she had all the Tyler Perry screenplays, and this was originally one of a stage plays. I believe it was originally on the stage, or a version of it was. So when it came out, I think the first time I saw it was on bootleg, because, and it, the audio was horrible, and somebody was walking through the screen, very that. Anyhow, I have always enjoyed most of the Tyler Perry productions, and this was one that I thought was done really well. I was like, oh, he got Kathy Bates, oh, and Alfred Woodard, oh, Sinai, oh, Taraji, oh, Rockman Dunbar, everybody. It was really, it was interesting, that whole, I think it probably led to kind of those shows that he has now, like the haves and the have-nots.
Oh, 100.
Right? So it was really interesting. It was really interesting to see. And it's one of those movies now that they play, like, when VH1 is doing like an all-black movie day. So they're going to put all the black movies on. This is one of them. And that's how I've caught it a number of times, because it runs on cable so much. It's good. I thought it was a good film.
I put your movie questions to right after the synopsis. That's what you're looking for.
I want to do, okay, is this the synopsis? Okay, I'll read the synopsis right now. I can't really see it. But the synopsis of the movie is...
Y'all zoom in for Pep. Y'all know she blind.
That looks like Patreon questions. We got some Patreon questions that we will answer in just a little bit, but it looks like I'm not sure if the synopsis is before or after the Patreon questions.
The synopsis is after. I think you already read it, though.
I didn't read it. Well, it doesn't matter. I won't read the synopsis. I said I'd said it. It wasn't on the screen. I didn't read it. But let's go back with that. I'll say, how did you like the acting? I think the acting in the movie was really, really good. If you can scroll to that section that we're talking about, please. I think overall, what stood out for me were the performances, like the individual performances. What did you think about that?
Okay, so I'm going to lay it down for you. First of all, you had Kathy Bates. I bring her name up a lot. I know she ain't even black, but look, she was in a black film, and she was wonderful. Kathy Bates, phenomenal. Second, I think, Alfred Woodard was, classic Alfred Woodard. It was way better than Steel Magnolias. And I did you see Alfred still? Alfred is classic, I liked it. Sanaa Lathan, I thought, plays that villainous, like,
he played
Lynn Whitfield-y kind of like, oh, damn, slap her. The whole movie, you like, slap her.
I was like, oh, no. And after loving basketball, I was not expecting to see Sanaa Lathan play that kind of part, play that kind of role. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All I'm hearing, Mitch, is your bang, bang, bang. All I hear are drums. Y'all hear that? Sounds like drums.
Can you mute, please?
I thought Jumanji, bitch. All I heard was the rhinos coming. I said, that's the Jumanji sound. With Jumanji.
You're gonna make me pee.
Oh, Jumanji. You ain't got no panties on. Don't pee. You standing gap-legged over that fan right there. Don't you pee, girl.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
Jumanji.
Oh, Lord. What's going on?
Who rolled the dice? Who rolled the dice? Jumanji.
Trying to bring it back together. Okay. The storyline of the show.
Okay.
Okay, Lord Jesus. Okay.
The family that prays.
Yes. Okay, about the movie. One of the things that I think that this movie was good, but it really stuck to like the old school format or formula of making, which I think was great. It feels like a soap opera, but in 2020, watching it back now, there's so many moments that I wish we could go deeper into in the movie. It all feels very kind of surface, and then it's not a criticism really. I mean, they cover a lot of ground in this movie.
Well, this movie made, like, in the U.S. alone, I think like $31 million. And when it premiered at the box office, it was number 2, only behind some movie called Burn After Reading. And I don't even remember that film, to be honest. Did you know Burn After Reading?
The title sounds familiar, but I couldn't tell you who was in it.
Gives me very
I'm sure.
international Oscar nominated piece, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, but you know what? Even with all that money, it is the second least well-performing film from the Tyler Perry collection out of all of them. The second least performing. So like, here's the whole list. Here's the worst. It's one above that.
It's at the bottom.
Yes.
The bottom. Okay.
And it couldn't have been, but look, you had great people though. What did you think about Taraji in her role as the sister?
Taraji was great. I, of course, now after seeing look with Taraji, it's like with Jesus before BC and AD, before Empire and after Empire. Once she's Cookie, it's a whole like she has just come to life in a whole different way after playing Cookie. And she was this character was more reserved, I think, than Cookie. But I thought her performance was great.
She was a supporting girl in this one. She's supporting Sinai.
I didn't like seeing Sinai in this role, to be honest with you. Listen, I liked her in the role. I'm glad she got the part. I'm not coming for the girl's bag. I'm just saying, to see this type of conniving Black woman, which they're conniving people come in all colors, to see this Black woman in today's world, like this story would not hold water in today's world, because that woman would not be doing what she did in the way that she was, bashing her husband, and it was almost written as if what the real situation that we're going through with race and everything in this world has never happened. It was a weird kind of alternate universe. I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining myself well.
No, you are. I think, here's the deal. And I run this back and forth because, working as an actor, as well, over time, we've had roles that we thought, okay, now this is stereotyping my entire community. But, that's what was available at the time. That was what was being written. So I think with this film, it could, looking at it in 2020, feel like, wow, so y'all just had the Black family working for the rich white family, and the poor Black family is over here, and then the Black lady is just the conniving, sleeping with the white man, and married white man, and doing her husband wrong, and you got all of these things that are very stereotypical about our community, and it not holding us up in a high regard. I think that how I justify sometimes this to myself is that we just have to have balanced experiences and visibility on screen. Because listen, those people, they exist. And I think when Tyler Perry probably wrote that, he wrote it from an authentic place. But at the same time, if we only have that type of visibility on screen, that becomes what everyone sees us in our community as. So, I think that as long as there's balance, and maybe at the time there wasn't balance and that was the problem, but I didn't have a problem seeing her like this because it reminded me of Angela Bassett in Waiting to Exhale.
Waiting to Exhale. Yeah.
This in those scenes where she's going off and she's like, John, how much are your children worth, John? All of that. She was very like that, but an evil version of her. And I like, growing up.
Evil version.
Yeah, like growing up with shows like I watched with my grandma, Young and the Restless, Days of Our Lives, Bold and the Beautiful. That was soap. That was soap stuff at its best right there. That was the Diane Carroll, Joan Collins, go on. That's what that was. So, I think the more boring parts to me were Alfred Woodard going to the country club. I was like, where's she going? To the strip club and different stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does this movie hold any relevance to you today, like in 2020, now looking back? Like, how does it sit? Where does it sit in 2020 in your mind?
Oh, girl, I don't think about the family that prays. I really enjoy watching it again.
It feels like a trip back to 2008.
It is definitely a trip on back. And probably before that, because it feels very antebellum almost in a way.
Yeah.
Like the scene opens up
Old
and
romantic
it's like,
South.
The call of, I'm waiting for, Scarlett O'Hara to come out there, and, Eureka's cousin, to come out there and be like, well, gosh, darn, I don't give a damn, Scarlett, whatever, I don't know. It just felt very that, and it's just like, movies like The Help as well. But that was a period piece. This one didn't necessarily say period. It was supposed to be shot in 2008. I was like, they still living like that? But
yeah, it's very period. It feels like it's way before.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Okay, and I want to know, like, how important is it for a lot of our non-white or non-black friends to see black films? I remember, I won't say who, it was a queen, I won't say who, years ago when 12 Years a Slave came out, and I was like, we had choices to go and see to the movies, and we had seen all the movies. Like, say there was 5 movies out, and one of them was 12 Years a Slave, and we had seen all the others. And so I'm like, okay, we have to see 12 Years a Slave. It's time. Like, we've seen everything else that's out. Let's see 12 Years a Slave. And she was like, no, girl, I'll just sit home and watch TV. I'm like, girl. And she just didn't want to be brought to, I think, a situation where she would have to see race in a certain way, or see white people being slave masters or whatever.
If you were to name this queen's initials, what would they be?
Oh, girl, don't give me girl. You know why? Because she's the only queen I know with these initials. That's enough.
Damn.
Let's keep it moving.
Okay. Well, you know what? It does make people sometimes uncomfortable, but I think that it's important to see films that do, showcase all parts of every community. I've sat through a lot of films that are not from my community that I even felt uncomfortable watching, but no one else would feel that way because it wasn't them. Or a film where gay people are being bashed, and everyone's just sitting there like, oh, it's the norm. It's very difficult to watch, but sometimes you got to step outside your comfort zone. Name.
Mm-hmm. Well, now it's time to go to some questions that were submitted to us from users, from our viewers. These are questions from people who, I think it's up before this. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. These are some Patreon questions.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Nelson DePina says, "The Family That Prays is my favorite Tyler Perry movie. The fact that Tyler was able to get Alfre Woodard and Kathy Bates to star opposite each other is awesome." And that is the truth. But some people, including some black and some in the black community, had issues with Tyler Perry's alleged dependence on selling selling the stereotypical black experience to the masses, and accused of selling out to the Chitlin circuit. So back in 2009, even Spike Lee was very vocal about his disapproval of what Tyler Perry was putting out, resulting in Tyler Perry lashing out about Spike during an interview in 60 Minutes. Okay, honey, this person did their research.
Oh, coming through. I need to go look up 60 Minutes.
Hello. The two have since buried the hatchet, with Tyler Perry even recently naming one of his new... You don't have control? Oh, darn it. 1 second. Oh. We have a solution for this. Okay.
Question.
Tyler Perry, okay, so the two, after 60 Minutes, the two have since buried the hatchet, with Tyler Perry even recently naming one of his sound stages after Spike Lee. But with all of that being said, do you feel selling the black stereotype is bad, or can it be good? You basically already answered this question. This person says, "I feel the topic has always split the black community in two. I think the Cosbys would be a good example. Half the community saw it as pandering to white audiences with characters that were not living the very real black struggle. And the other half of the community celebrating the characters that were not the stereotype." And so I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts. And you did kind of touch on this a little bit, but would you address what they say?
To me, it's about visibility. Look, I think that, Tyler knew there's an audience for this type of writing. There's an audience for this type of soap drama, which is why shows like Empire and all those shows that he has created so successfully, Meet the Browns and all of those things, that they work. A lot of them sometimes aren't my favorite thing, but I can't snatch, some people in my family, my Aunt Sheila, I can't pull her away from a Tyler Perry show. My mama loves the plays, and I'm like, oh Lord, please don't put that on again. I can't sit there and watch all that, but she loves it. And that means Tyler was very smart, which is why he is a person right now worth $800 million. I don't think he necessarily sold out. I think that he understood there was a market that wanted to see that type of writing. He was selling out these gospel plays all over the country. And a lot of people didn't even see it coming, which is why today this man has been able to buy an entire studio and create opportunities and jobs for so many in Atlanta.
Like a city.
Have you been there? I went.
Honey, no, I haven't been, but I've only seen the virtual tour. So tell us about it.
Well, I won't go too far into it. Shanji, keep it to yourself. No, I'm gonna tell you, I went with Jennifer Lewis as her guest to the opening of the Tyler Perry studio in Atlanta back in October of last year in 2019. And it was like the celebration of everybody Black Hollywood. It was like the most beautiful family reunion that you would ever want to go to ever. It was inclusive. I mean, like, speaking of gay people like me, K-Way, just so many, out loud and proud Black gay people were there as well to share in this moment. And just to see our icons like Cicely Tyson, Oprah, Debbie Allen, Jennifer Lewis, Anita Baker, the Will Smiths and the Jadas and the Spike Lees and the Denzels, all of them were there. Even Bill and Hillary Clinton showed up. Okay? The honorary Black.
Honey.
And yes, Beyonce and Jay-Z and all, it was just a beautiful celebration of Black. And to have that moment and to walk that studio lot as he was like dedicating all those different sound stages, we walked the entire red carpet. Oh, I saw myself on the Emmys. They did Tyler Perry got honored and they did a package roll and they showed him walking between his head and Jennifer Hudson's head. There my little bush is, bitch. I was right there walking behind him because Jim was like, come on, let's go. We're going to get up in the camera. Jennifer Lewis, I live. So we walked right behind it and it was just beautiful. And so when people ask that question, like, was he pandering? I don't think he was doing that. I think he was writing from his perspective. He's a Southern boy. Those are the kind of things that we grew up watching. And it's important to have the Cosby's as well as Good Times. All those types of shows need to show the myriad of experiences that people in the Black community have had. And hopefully that will inspire us to have, be able to have inspirational moments as well to pull yourself up. But what does that look like to people? Some people, it looks like living, in a brownstone in New York and being a doctor. Some people, it just means I'm happy making ends meet, having my family, and looking around us, kikiing and laughing like they do in the Tyler Perry films. So it's just important to have as much as possible. And that's why I think we need to create more content like what you're doing right here, like what we do in We're Here or any of the shows, to have so people see all the different characters and people that make up our beautiful fabric of the LGBTQIA pluses and the pluses and the pluses.
Preach on that, sister. And while you're talking about We're Here, first, by the way, I believe y'all are just about to start filming season 2. Congratulations on all the Emmy recognition and congratulations on season 2. I think not a lot of people know that is a milestone. These days, the way that the TV industry runs, we don't always get the news of the second season until right before. And so, congratulations. I have a question from Trisha Lucas.
Oh, come on, Trisha.
We're Here is one. Yes. Trisha asks, We're Here is one of the most heartwarming and radical shows on TV, and that is the truth. That's me saying that. I'd love to hear about some of Shangela's favorite moments filming the show. Maybe something that didn't make it on camera.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're it's fashion.
Another
fashion. Somebody get Pep got acid reflux. I know y'all. You gonna get a commercial. You gonna get a commercial. I know what you're doing. You don't really be burping. You trying to get a commercial from the acid reflux people. That's what you try to do. Get a sponsorship.
Girl, tell me give me my Pepto commercial. Pep for Pepto. Girl, that's it right there, girl.
Pepsid AC. Pep.
Oh, girl, all my things are heartburn medications. What?
Yeah, Dr. Pepper. It'll help you burp. Okay, I think We're Here. Something that people didn't see. Gosh, we film a lot of stuff uh, going to different places together. Bob, Eureka, and I. And, as we're scouting, okay, so when we get to the city, we have to find a place to have our drag show. And so we go to a lot of different places scouting to see if we're going to be able to have the show there. And you see some of it on the show. One part I don't think you got to see or didn't get to see as much. We went to this pony like a pony circus. They had a tent, and girl, they had suggested that maybe we have the drag show on the dirt, on the dirt. So you didn't get to see. Yeah, the woman is telling us, okay, amongst the horse shit, you want us to be discoing in our nice shoes and boots and the vinyls up on the horse? Oh, Mrs. Thing. And I'll never forget, we got to pet the ponies and like play with them, but we had to sit there and watch their whole like pony show. Girl, it was something. It was something. They had all and next up, Midnight Lightning. Mind you, there were like 12 people there. And we went, it was just outside of, that one I think was in Idaho, if I'm not mistaken. And one thing in Gettysburg, we went to, I didn't even get to go to this. This was Bob. Bob went to a Civil War reenactment. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They thought it would be a good idea for Bob to go to a Civil War reenactment. No. Where the folks get out there and the Union soldiers and the Confederates and they fire at each other. Yep. Ask Bob. She had herself out there with the. Trust me, her side won. Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth James wants to know, what are your most memorable or favorite cameo requests? Do you have any that is memorable?
I love cameo requests.
You got me a cameo, girl. Do you know that? You signed up the whole tour.
Yes.
Like 2017, you got me on that cameo, honey.
And hasn't it been good to you, though? Doesn't it give you a chance to connect with your fans in a quick, easy way? It's harder sometimes during the pandemic because, see, I used to be in drag every other night. So I could just knock out the cameo every time. Now I have to be like, okay.
The next time you're going to be in drag, you just wait until the next time you can drag. Now you got to like make a,
I'm making a drag. And then to get in drag and not go nowhere. Just, I'm not that girl. I've always been a girl that gets in drag to go to the show or to go to an event or whatever. So anyhow, I love it. And people can still connect with me over at cameo.com/Shangela and order a personalized video. I've had people to ask me to ask their partner a lead in to their proposal. I think that's some of my most memorable ones because I'm like, oh my God, like you guys are inviting me to be a part of like the proposal. I don't want to mess it up, and then I'll end it be like, and get ready because Jonathan has something very special he's about to ask you. It's really cute.
That is so sweet. Iggy Von Moon says, hello. Peppermint and Shangela, first off, thank you both for being such a wonderful source of hope and love. For those of us at home during quarantine, BLM, the election, and the crunchy year of 2020. That is the most crunchiest year I've ever had. Thank you for all the, thanks for Black Queer Town Hall, Feed the Queens, and being yourselves. You are our generation's icons, and you set an example for excellence and hope. As a young binary drag artist as a young non-binary drag artist who's in New York, who's in the works from moving from North Carolina to New York City, what is your advice for me being someone who marches to the beat of their own drum and a spooky, goofy weirdo? What's your advice? Okay, that's one question. What's your advice for me making a name for myself in New York City? Because they want to be named for themselves. And before you can be the shit. What?
I'm sorry, baby. You lost me. Be the shit. One more time. Be the shit.
Before you can be the shit, you have to be. Before you can be the shit, you have to be able to pay your dues. Plus, it's respect for those who have already done it and have paved the way. I'm so grateful. Keep scrolling.
Pepper, if you don't put a character limit on these questions, thank you, baby. We appreciate that. I think I get it. Okay. I think I get what the question is.
Yeah, okay. What's the advice?
Listen, baby, when you in New York.
We can't do this anymore. We got to do the limit. Okay,
concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do because you're going to New York.
But it doesn't have to be New York. What is your advice for drag entertainer who wants to break in to, and I really do respect this question because a lot of people are like, oh, if I want to make it in drag, all I got to do is get on Instagram and then get on RuPaul's Drag Race. And so, okay, some people do that, but really cutting your teeth in the drag scene is there. I think that there's a lost art. People are not forgetting that I mean, right now we have the pandemic, so people can't necessarily do drag shows. But if hopefully when we get a vaccine and we can get over this, what is your advice for people trying to break in that way?
I'll tell you like this, and Auntie Shangie loves to keep it real with you, baby. Okay. And people come to me for advice about this topic a lot because they've seen my journey. And I remind them a lot of times, look, it is a journey. A lot of people see us, on television as drag entertainers or out there touring and doing on so many like gigs and events and all that. And they want to be in that moment, but some people get handed that moment, but you get the longevity, you get the success in a long career when you understand that it's something that you have to work for. I see so many people these days that want all the fame and all the glory, and they're not willing to do the work. And that could be in any field. And drag is a job. As much it is a beautiful hobby and experience, and it's a fun, creative expression of art as well. If you want to be a successful entertainer, that's different now. If you just want to be a drag queen, you be a drag queen. You can put on the mug. You can tip it. You can be fierce. You can live for yourself. You can be a drag queen. But if you want to be a successful drag entertainer, then you're going to have to put the work into it. And you're going to have to understand that a lot of times you have to take a lot of jobs. Oh, honey, look at Shangela's Peppermint as well. Peppermint, I remember coming to see you in New York. Honey, you know what the grind is like, okay? We know. We'll get a gig over here. Oh, you want me to come to the gig? Hold on. I can make that one too in the same night, a double check. Let me go on over here across town.
Oh, honey, get this gig done.
2, 3 gigs. Get up in the morning and do so. If you want to be on television, you about to be in drag for a good amount of time. And especially when I first moved to LA to work as an actor, I was a background actor, okay? We got paid $8 an hour to stand in the back and be shuffled around. But that's what you did in order to try and work enough to get enough vouchers in order to be qualified to even be in the. I remember when I got my SAG card, I was so excited. So in being in drag, I did $25 gigs. I did $25 plus 2 drink tickets, to get a moment, get on the mic. I remember Laganja. I see, and it also makes me so proud to see girls who work and see them grow. I think about Laganja, Strange's sister of mine. When she was on tour with me and Alyssa, she was deathly afraid right after her season
getting on the mic.
To get on the microphone. We'd be like, girl, we need you to stretch because we got to change. And she'd be like, I don't want to talk. No, please. No, just let me. And we're like, no, you're going to get out there. You're going to talk. You're going to get on this mic. You're going to stretch. And you're going to look back at that curtain and wait till we're there. And she would hate it, but it helps you to grow. And that's what I would encourage anybody. Don't be afraid to do the work. Don't be afraid of the journey. Don't think everything's going to come with a check. Okay. And not a lot is going to come with a big one, especially when you're first starting out. Okay. Yeah. And I don't want you to be taken advantage of, but come on.
First starting out means the first few years of you doing it, not the first few days.
And get ready for, it's a growth journey. You got to get better, and you can't walk in. We teach everyone to walk in with great self-confidence. That's a big thing now, but don't get confidence confused with this, inflated sense of self where you think that your shit don't stink or that you don't have anything else. They taught me to be confident. I'm gonna walk in here like I own the place, and I do own the place, and nobody can tell me nothing. No, baby, that's not what I said. I don't know what the other girls told you, but that's not what I said. I said be humble and learn and look around and grow, because drag is a people business. Okay, Miss Thing, you moving from New York to North Carolina to New York, you about to be a little fish in a gigantic pond of established entertainers. That shouldn't scare you, but it should inspire you to know that you're going to have to work to really stand out, to make a name for yourself. And you can do it. Because trust me, I came to drag not knowing much other than, I like to be on stage and I love to entertain. I learned as I went along. You can learn too, but you got to be ready and willing to do it. The work.
It's the truth. Just another reminder, if you were just tuning into the show earlier, before the show even started, we talked about my love for bubbly, caring for our grandparents and our health. Yes, bubbly. Where's my bubbly? Bubbly. Yes. Mitch, can you move that? Caring for our grandparents and their health. Shangela teaching family members at home during COVID. The hashtag Justice for Shangela. 2020 vibe. Black Queen getting what is theirs. And Shangela is out. Shangela is shook YouTube special. And sneaking out of the hotel during the filming of season 3 for Stacey Lane Matthews' birthday during Drag Race. Nobody knows about that. And so if you want to watch that, head over to my Patreon, where you can also find other exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and full episodes of Pepp Talks. All right. Okay, now here we go. So this is the segment of the show that I like to call my favorite products of the week. This is a skincare item. I actually haven't talked about this yet. It was sent to me by surprise. Sometimes people just send me things and I'm like, oh God, what is that in that box?
Ooh, come on, famous.
Yes, I did not get paid to do this, but I figured I would check it out. It is from Pharmacy. And the product is called Green Clean.
What is it?
It's a cleanser. It's a cleansing balm that melts your makeup away. It's a makeup melt away cleansing balm. Oh, girl, it's a makeup melt away cleansing balm. I already knew what it was. It smells, I can't figure out what it smells like, but it smells so familiar. And so if you can, if anybody gets it and you can figure out what this fragrance is, then let me know, because it smells like some other product that I've smelled, and I can't place it because it's not usually like a face cleanser, but it's like some kind of food or something. I don't know. Anyway,
well, the amazing thing is if they smell it, then they know they ain't got COVID.
Hello. Oh, hello. It is wonderful. This is also an amazing thing. It is, it's featured, I guess it was featured in Allure magazine 2017, but this is a new box. 2017. And it's great.
We got some extra boxes. Send it to Peppermint.
Hello. You got check back in that 2017 shelf. Anyway,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It looks good. It looks good.
And it melts the makeup right off, honey. Eye makeup, all that kind of stuff. Very, very, very good. So check it out. Pharmacy Green Clean. It's just so wonderful. And I'm really, really digging it. And so I'm going to keep using it. I've been using it for about 3 weeks. It's been my only makeup remover here where I'm not at home. I'm in Canada. And so it's been my only makeup remover here, and it has been fabulous. Anyway, Another thing that has been fabulous is I want to talk about Delicate Recovery. I'm going to let you know next week about Delicate Recovery Serum and Kate Somerville Goat's Milk Cleanser, which I have been using. But I'm going to wait until next week because I wanted to give it another week to really seep in. So for those of you that tuned in to find out my review of that, just wait until next week, please, because I'm thinking that after the election, we are going to need some nice
goat's milk
self-care moments. And so we're going to talk about it on that day. Give us something nice to talk about.
She's going to be very seeped, y'all. Get ready because Peppermint going to seep in. Seepage.
Let it seep in, honey. So just to recap, if you are just joining us, if you are just joining us, head on over to my Patreon to see everything that you just missed. And of course, on the Patreon, you can see the entire show and some before the show moments that are very, very good. Anyway, this is the end of the show. Next week's guest is Sasha Velour, and we are talking about Boomerang. And so if you want to be up to speed, make sure you watch it yourself before so that we can talk about it next week and you can put your chat in your comments in the chat.
You are not gay. He's gay. He's gay. My brother is gay. I know gay. That's good. That's my great sound.
It is. And so can we scroll back up to the promotions for Shangela? Shangela is just about to start filming season 2 of We're Here. And so we are going to keep our eyes out for that. Also, we want to make sure that you go to feedthequeens.org, is it?
That's it. Feedthequeens.com or .org. Either one of them. You're going to get that help. Feed the Queens or
both of them.
Please go. And that's every type of drag entertainer. Drag king, drag queen, our fabulous drag trans community. Anybody in the drag, the bonnets, everybody. If you are a drag entertainer, go to feedthequeens.com. Hallelujah.
And you recently started a brand new show on Spotify called Hallelujah Happy Hour with Shangela. It's every single week. And so make sure you check that out where you get on Spotify, but it might even be wherever you get your podcasts. Right?
It's only on Spotify. And Pep, you have to come be my guest one time, okay?
I'm yours. I am all yours, honey. I'll ask Rafe after the show to email you about that, and you let me know when we can schedule it. And then we found of recent. Oh, we already got that. Sorry. Us and this teleprompter today, y'all. We got a lot going on, but the most important thing is that y'all tuned in. Thank you so much for sticking with us and watching the show. Make sure you tune in next week. Shangela, you are amazing. Thank you so much for being my guest on Pepp Talks. And everyone, take care. Mwah.
Bye, y'all. Hallelujah.